Alrighty guys, we are back with round 2 of Top Cut. So, on your menus tonight for this next best of 3, Paul Fallon on the left with Gareth. I don't know
what's with the playmat?
I don't know, they've put in their own playmat by the looks of things. Probably should have asked them not to do that, but oh well.
It's been done now.
Yeah, so and Gareth on the right, he's with Water Lightning against Ice Lightning. But yeah, that mat is looks like something's going wrong on screen, doesn't it?
It's quite jarring.
It's alright. So they're just looking over the list now and obviously getting a good shuffle going on. I mean, I'm muttering and trying to get my words, just so you all know out there. Unfortunately, as we saw, obviously Kitty went out in the last round 2-0. The undefeated EXO, Mr. James Cloutman, also dropped to 2-0. Sadly, just didn't quite make it here to top 4.
As Jacob said outside, it is the EXO curse. You never see anyone go EXO and then manage to actually win the tournament.
Yeah. Now, so our other game is obviously Reese, winner from round 1, and he is against Mick Allen, who is obviously been on stream already today. And let's be honest, I mean, some of us, not that I want to vote for Reese to lose or nothing, but best buds Paul Fallon and Mick Allen going at it could be an interesting final game of the day. That's all I'm saying.
However, this is going to be tough for Paul. After seeing how Gareth goes about this deck from the Swindon regionals, this is a tough matchup. Yeah,
absolutely. So, Duff, welcome back. Let's give you the breakdown. So, we had Kitty versus Reese, Mono Fire versus Mono Water as our first round stream game in the Top Cut. Kitty dropping 2-0 to Reese. Reese is against Mick Allen, not Mick Fallon, who obviously is our second game right now. So we had Tash make it through as well. She was against Ben Roberts has also dropped, so they're both gone.
Yeah. So we have Paul and Gareth here, and then I believe it's Mick Allen and Reese.
Yeah. So we've lost Cloutman, who was EXO, going into Top Cut. Sorry guys, we can't really show you the visuals of the bracket or anything, I'm afraid.
You know what, you said Mick Fallon. I feel like those two are close enough. They are practically blood brothers. We can stick with that, sure. I think.
So we have already lost, as I said, Ben Roberts, Tash is gone. We've lost Kitty, and we've also lost... Who was our other person our 8th player? Basically, 1, 2, 3, and 4 place have all dropped. They've all lost
Cloutman, Tash, Kitty, and Ben Roberts.
So, of all the peeps that actually used their buys, only Kitty, I think, was the only one to make it to Top Cut, and he is out. So
I got to admit, the top 8 was quite varied. The top 4 has become a bit less varied. You got Ice Lightning, 2 Water Lightnings, and then 1 Mono Water. But beforehand, it was quite varied. Yeah. We've not got that now.
Yeah, Mono Fire was there. That was Kitty, and also a basically 4-color good pile list. Yeah. So
Kirin Aggro, and then the Warrior Darkness as well. It was varied. Yeah.
The Warrior Darkness definitely being the dark horse of this game. Because it was not just obviously the Warriors of Darkness, but there was also Chaos Arc in there as well.
So grabbing the Teardor off of the Assail. In all fairness, I don't think Gareth really minds this, because he's probably now just going to bin out his whole hand for backups, which I've seen him do in a normal game anyway. So I think you don't really care about the Teardor at this point. Yeah,
to be honest though, they haven't given us our deck list, and I don't think I've seen Gareth's deck list yet, so that is unfortunate. So we'll just have to play it by ear.
He's running the sort of more Type 0 Water Lightning, so he's got the Kings, he's got the Trays, he's got the Lightning Ace.
Sure, okay, cool. To be honest though, not playing... speak of the devil.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, so let's have a look. So backer packages... that's not even a backer package, that's a mix of everything. So King of Bermesia, Thordan... Hilda as a one-off.
What surprises me is actually that we have Thancred in this list. It seems quite heavy for what Water Lightning wants to be doing.
The thing is, though, Thancred's one of those scions that actually doesn't really care about science. It just cares about the Water and Lightning characters. So I don't hate it, to be honest. It might be a bit slow, but if you can give it haste, which I'm not sure if the list can, but we will find out He's even playing Garuda, which is a nice one.
Yeah, I think Garuda's the board wipe that Water Lightning needs in sort of like desperate circumstances. We got quite an interesting list from Paul Fallon as well, I think, for the Ice Lightning. We're running a bit of the DFF package. We got the Alba, we got the Cadets. Sid Randall's a great tech card at the moment, especially against your limit breaks.
Yeah, and he's running that as a 2-of as well, so this one being discarded now isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we shall see.
I think that Ixion's also going to come in quite clutch against this game because Water Lightning, for the most part, is quite low-costing forwards.
Yeah, so we are playing another Reeve, going to go into a Kate Sith. We're probably going to strip something out of Gareth's hand here. I'm guessing, unless he wants to sort of play along curve and wait till next turn, I'm not sure. I'd be kind of shocked if we do, though. Are we? Yep, there we go. There goes the Alcid. Show me what you got.
And you get rid of the King of Burmisia,
Yeah, can't take the backup, so...
you can't take the backup?
Okay. Don't. I would get rid of the ace, to be honest.
I think you get rid of the ace.
The ace is super strong.
I've seen the ace ramp up when I was at the Swindon Regionals, and it is kind of dirty when it really does get going. Yeah,
and I will say, like, Gareth here from Firestorm Games actually runs a cadet deck, and watching that ace put in as much work as it does is just scary. So.
Well, Gareth was my first loss at Newport, despite the fact I did manage to top. I did lose against that deck.
Submarine in, eh? What the best. We do know, obviously, that Gareth's hand here is stacked with backups, so I don't think we're going to be worried about getting to 5 anytime soon. He's still got King of Burmisia, and he had the tray in hand as well, so again, getting rid of that ace was probably really important, because had he played it and then it died, the tray could have just brought it back anyway.
So I think that puts him over hand capacity, so he plays Asara now, right?
No, I think one that just... Yeah, no, that put him on 5, yeah. And it's not a bad one to play on curve, but...
But you got the King of Burmisia, so... I think Nasara's the right choice, because then you just search for your 5th backup, don't you?
Yeah. Well, instead
you're going for the Lena.
Yeah. I don't hate
that, no.
The thing is, as well, I don't think it's going to have many EXs to trigger the draw effect, though. Because
or many EX bursts that Paul cares about enough to give Gareth the free draw.
Exactly. So, we shall see. Well, there goes the Thangrid. We're up to 3 backups. There's the Lena. Do we see anything else yet? We're going into the King of Burmisia as well. Grab the cane.
I'll admit, this is a beautiful playmat, but there is a massively jarring contrast between these two.
Yeah, all the darkness on the left, all the brightness on the right. But there we go. So we're on 4 backups with a cane in hand and nothing else. I mean, it's not a bad thing, because the Theodore is about to enter, so we're only losing the cane here. But it will have haste. And I think first blood in this game is going to be going to Paul Fallon.
I think you should have stuck with Asara, because at least then you would have been able to play Sara Search and then play the backup, and then you've got 5 backups before being forced to discard.
I think the difference is, if he's playing Hooded Man, which he is at 3, having the cane in the break zone isn't a bad thing, you know? But we shall see. Yeah, I agree with Duff there. The mind control one is usually what is selected, but I mean, to each their own. And again, I suppose if you're only using it for the Hooded Man, then
I don't think it really matters all that much. But to be honest, you could take the worst cane in the game, and it doesn't really matter.
Oh, and we're going into Cadets. This is going to be a tricky one to deal with as well. I mean, I would probably hit the Porum and the cane.
I think the Irvin's the right choice. I'm not quite sure about the tray. For me, I think you would have hit the cane and the Irvin.
Yeah. Oh, and he's hit another Irvin. Oh, that's pretty nasty. I don't think we're going to have to worry about those today. So,
well, you don't got to worry too much. I mean, we have seen by mixed standard that you only need 1 Irvin in a deck.
Yeah, this is very true. A man only running 1 because that's all he has access to. So, Cadets obviously flickering out. Probably Leo pass here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, unless we can hit maybe the 5th backup he can play for cheap.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, Leo, we've drawn. Yep, just Leo pass it is. Cadets enters. Oh, we're going to dull. Okay, we're not going to remove more.
I guess you want to stop Gareth from being able to keep sifting through your deck for what you need by playing more Leos. So if you dull it so it can't block.
Yeah, and potentially you've got plenty of ammunition in your deck as well, just to freeze it. The Albert isn't going to do anything on entry, but it will have haste, so we're going in swinging. Trey does hit.
I'm not 100% sure about this, but I don't think you mind hard casting the Albert because you don't really want to kill the Leo.
No, again, it's just extra haste. We're going to likely be going to put Gareth on damage 4 here, but Paul does need to be careful because, again, 6-drop Leviathan is a thing in this deck, but we've dodged it so far.
And that's kind of the last thing that you want when you're running the Cadets is for you to hit that Leviathan.
Yeah. Flex saying, has he stacked his hooded men towards the bottom? Who knows? It could just be a poor shovel or the best cut. Who knows? Yeah, I would have probably gotten rid of the Cane, to be honest. Getting rid of the Trey is an interesting choice on the Cadets initial entry. But, yeah, Paul Fallon fears no evil as he walks through the shadow of the Valley of Death, etc., etc. But hey ho.
So what are we doing here? Tapping 3. That foot still playing up, isn't it?
Well, I'm just making sure I don't step on it. It might be okay, but
Again, Connor limping around because he's done something to his foot, but Gareth, though, what are we thinking here? He's got a very full hand.
Pitching an arrow there. Playing the 9, is it?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's been a while since I played Type 0. The fact that I can still remember which one that is, I impressed myself.
I mean, choosing one forward to dull it, but you do need to control 2 or more Type 0 cadets, so we're hoping to get to that number, I guess.
Yep. And there's the ace.
And the ace on top, so we're going to get to draw a card. Plus now, we can discard a card, I believe, to dull things. So that could be pretty nice. Yep, discard 1 card, choose 1 forward, dull it, ace gains, okay. That is nasty. Like, this puts in so much work. Now, there are people saying mono lightning cadets might be a thing next set. So, what are you looking for? You're doing a stream lean?
These.
He was looking for his glasses, folks. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting to see cadets putting in their work, but again, this is like only a small, I would say, cadet package here.
I kind of, having seen this play through, I don't really think you need a big cadet package. I think this is fine.
Yeah.
But hitting that Sidrandal isn't the best, but I don't think compared to other matchups it's the most useful for this one.
Yeah, and I like that here. The Cadets entry, we're just going to dull down the ace again. Because again, although it can dull you back in response, and we might see that as we go to combat here, especially if that 9 dies, because we are looking at lethal. But it does mean it's not also then a big chunky blocker, so it's definitely worth tapping. What are we thinking here?
Is that the... For a second, I thought that was the backup fail Thanos.
Oh, right, no. So Cloud, that's going to break the 9. Now we probably see some dulling here for... Yep, so dull response there. We're not yet using the ace, but we are going to be potentially going to 6 if we don't. I mean, I don't think Paul needs to worry too much about this ace, but we shall see.
Taking the damage. I'm hitting a lightning. That's
Fallon dodging EX bursts like Neo in the Matrix. I'm surprised. Like, I don't know exactly the number.
We get one finally, but these are some quite nasty quite nasty hits in for Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth needs an answer now. Don't forget the Cadets won't be targetable, so that's going to be one dull no matter what. But again, I suppose if Gareth can maybe just dull down the board, if he's got enough cards that he doesn't want to play, like maybe he just sees a lot of backups. But yeah, he's going to be possibly looking at the first loss here. Interesting to see Cadets making it back into a couple lists as well, though. Surprisingly difficult card to deal with, because you have to wait until your opponent's turn to do it.
It's kind of like an annoying fly that you want to squat, but you can't.
Well, what do we think we got? So, here comes Lightning. What do we have? Paul immediately looks at his hands. We're going with Ixion. And we're going to pay the extra. We're going to break all threes.
I don't know if paying the extra is the right idea to get rid of a Leo, though.
I mean, it's an additional attacker gone and an additional defender gone as well. Plus that Lightning had to die, let's be honest. If you do want to waste your time doing sort of Leo and then pass here, I mean, fine, but I don't think that'll be enough to stop the game. So, and let's get this Ixion up, because it's one of those cards that has seen a lot of play, but never really makes it onto stream all that often. So, what a card this is. Really well paid for by Paul as well, making sure to just. I mean, potentially, Paul, you're right. Maybe the Ixion might have been premature, but again, looking at the hand of Gareth, I don't think he's got anything that can really follow up, to be honest. So, yeah, Doll, some draws. Hilda, an interesting one that we're seeing Hilda as well, because it doesn't really make it into lists too frequently either.
I think I've got to agree with the Ixion being a bit premature. You wait till combat and then do it, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure though. I think that Paul might be getting away with it a bit, because again, looking at from what we understand of Gareth's hands, it's not the best. But
so we're swinging for 2 and leaving no blockers when you're at 6 damage. I think that's a bit of a mistake.
Nah, you got Ace. As long as because no matter what, Ace is going to do stuff on the stack anyway. So I don't think you have to worry about it. Plus 9 now as well. Did Ace draw there? Did you say? Might want to go check that, Taylor. I will send the boy up to the table.
So what was that, Ace drew when you shouldn't have?
Yeah, it looked like Ace drew potentially. Yeah, thank you guys. Good catch there, because I missed that as well. Apparently it did it on attack, which it shouldn't have. So it looks like it was the Irvin. I'm just going to put that back on top.
Yeah, no, bit of a mistake on their part. The tray should have been played first, and then it should have been the Ace trigger, but unfortunately, the card that got drew had to be put back.
Yeah, thank you very much for catching that, guys. Obviously, we've left it to Gareth for now to, obviously, if there's any warnings or what have you.
It's unfortunate as well, because the character that did get drawn off of the Ace would have been very useful for him. It was an Irvin.
Yeah, we saw it. At least that's what we'd like to think. Hopefully that is the right card and that we're playing by the honor system, but who knows. Now, Zeramus has haste, so we have the 3 attackers. We're staring at lethal, but we do get both a trigger from the 9, and we have Ace for discarding the remaining 2 guys if you want to give up your hand.
Does that 9 have an S effect?
No, it does not. It just has a pay 0, choose 1 forward, doll it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not the best, but it is an interesting card. I mean, if Paul could find a way to deal with the...
I mean, with the amount of haste that Irvin's going to get haste here, Paul might actually be seeing lethal.
Well, the ace is down, so we're not... Unless he plays two things, it would be pretty bad.
No, I don't think there's a second haste in there. I see the Irvin, but...
Well, the thing is, we've got to also be very careful that we keep some cards in hand, because the Cymru will dull everything at end of turn. So, yeah, I kind of inclined to agree with Angel Blood here. I do believe that Ace is probably going to take control of this game. I mean, in theory, we need to get rid of the Ace. Then the 9 also isn't live as well. So, but again, it doesn't matter. It probably could just get done on the stack, right? So.
That's the point. What did happen to Cadets?
Oh, Cadets, did we miss an entry?
Slight.
Hang on, because...
So is that a mistrigger or is it a mandatory?
No, because I don't think we've passed Gareth's turn yet, so it comes in at end of his turn, right? I don't think we've missed...
Yeah, because it goes out at the end of your turn, comes back in.
Yeah, I don't think we've missed it yet, but...
It's not mandatory as well, so unfortunately if it is missed, it will be a mistrigger on Paul's part.
And it will remain removed from the game. So, it looks like we did miss it this time, for sure, because we have moved over to Paul's turn, sorry. So that could be a huge one. We did lose the Zaramus as well, so no big doll at the end there. I think Ace just pulling this back in for Gareth. So, yeah, I can't fault this first one going to him. It's been really well played.
Yeah, on Gareth's part, to come back here was real.
Oh, I mean, you've probably just been your hand out here and dollar S.
Is the card stuck now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
he
missed a trigger, so now it can't come back in.
I thought it was like, it's mandatory to come back.
No, it's an optional. So now, because he's got the missed trigger, it needs to stay removed.
Well, at least let's get the wording up of Cadets here, because we've just been asked by Connor. He's asked us to. At the end of each of your turns, you may remove Cadets from the game. If you do so at the end of your opponent... Oh, yeah, so the re-entry is mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've gone too far.
Yeah.
So, give him a warning for us. So the may remove from game is may. The re-entry is non-mandatory. So, yes, that is absolutely a mistrigger there that we've just found out.
So I believe both players get the warning here because both players need to keep the board state.
Yeah, I would agree. So again, we will leave that to Gareth, who looks like he's just having a word with the players now. Sorry on that one, guys. I probably should have pulled up the wording that a little bit quicker, but no, I don't think. I think you're right as well, Angel Blood. I don't think it changes the outcome of that game too much. But again, it could have been a case that Paul has that additional blocker and maybe he survives another turn. But
plus, got told off earlier for not being harsh enough on that ruling in Connor's game, so got to stick to that. Regional tournament, rules are rules, got to stay strict.
Yeah, next time we know. But again, Gareth going 1-0 up in this best of 3. Now,
I'm almost tempted to go take a peek on the other game to see how it's going, but I don't want to distract them.
Yeah, no, we're going straight into this one, so. Yeah, it's a shame because Paul seemed to be in control there, but yeah, that ace again showing why it's such a good hero.
Yeah, when I watched the top cut for Swindon when it was Sam Griffiths versus Gareth, Sam had control of the game for most of it, and each time Gareth just crawled back right at the end, and the way that this deck comes back is just insane.
Yeah, but again, it was said in the chat, you can't take anything with sort of water or lightning to 5, and then no, you can't take backups, Paul, unless he was just pushing it out of the way. The lightning, I'd be inclined to sack off. Yeah,
I think you sack off the lightning.
But we've gone for the Garuda. Okay, so
it's not the worst choice, I don't think, because you've got a lot of 4-drops in Paul's deck that would just get absolutely annihilated by Garuda.
Yeah, exactly that. So, still a start though, and we're going into a Quan as well, so potentially giving some haste to your singular forwards, which could be pretty nice. Can Gareth get a similar game to the last one, or will he be in control early on? Because it doesn't look like Paul's going to be putting in as much pressure as he did in the first game.
We're ditching a Coocher lane, playing an Echidna, grab the Coocher lane back. I mean, you're getting a free sort of monster. I don't think there's...
Yeah, I mean, it's alright. Doesn't seem like we've got exactly the best opening here, but we're just
overpaying for the tray.
Yeah, for no value. But again, a backup on a monster for 4 CP isn't terrible, I guess. Doesn't look like this is the best starting hand for Gareth to have, but we shall see how it develops from here. I mean, can Paul start really applying some pressure here? You'd love to see him get some haste out there, but I think maybe he's taking sort of the longer route this time, maybe just going with backups. But I spoke too soon. Here goes Arcee.
Sort of Rufus. Well, you've seen that he's had to overpay for the tray, so if you can start applying the pressure with the Rufus and forcing a discard every turn, that's going to cripple Gareth massively.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And obviously Paul flexing there that he's got those full arts that he's worked so hard to get. Yeah, I don't have one. How does it feel to have a full art Rufus there, Taylor? Does it feel good?
As somebody who... I'm trying hard not to swear because I hate ice that much. As somebody who hates ice, but my partner loves ice, I won both Rufuses and it got passed just straight to him.
Do you know what, though? Maybe you should be like, no, these are mine. You get your own.
And just charge him 40 quid for it. Yeah, 40 quid, please.
Well, I think, though... Again, Paul getting off kind of light here because he's only just seen a Reeve played against him, and we've got Rufus still available. A Don't Freeze on attack could be pretty nasty. We do have to be wary of the Echidna, though. I mean, this deck, again, we don't really
Sorry about
know specifically because it's not. So we got Odin. So that's 6. 8. He's got a fair few summons in his deck, so yeah, that Echidna could become live at any point, and it looks like it did because it blocked the Rufus. We've now dulled it with the Alcid, finally getting to 1 damage, and it is an ace. That's pretty big. And now following it up with the Sephiroth to break the Echidna. Woof.
Yeah, this is looking nasty now.
I mean, I think Paul needs it though, to be honest.
First one to Reese.
Ooh.
So we have just found out that Reese has taken the first game for the other one. It looks like they're taking a small break.
Yeah, take the small victories when you can, and take a breather in the toilet by the looks of things.
Need a little bit of time to compose yourself.
Yeah, exactly that. So again, just Leo pass. It looks like Gareth's really struggling for his water backups here.
Yeah.
He probably is just trying to dig for more.
I think also having that Rufus and the Sephiroth just killing everything has just massively applied the pressure to Gareth now.
Then we go into a Trey S effect. It's strange. As I say that though, I just realised that we wanted to play a water backup, but we got rid of Thordan in order to play the Leo. That's a strange one.
Playing the Sid Randall.
Good luck.
Yeah,
good luck with the rest of your game, sir.
I think this is over for Gareth. There's been too much pressure applied. Paul's definitely taken control of the board, and now we have a Sid Randall, which basically says, no, you can't do your ETBs.
Yeah, but to be honest, did we see many ETBs that were of worry, to be honest?
Not massively. I mean, there was a few, though, that could really hinder Gareth. Lightning definitely being one. You're not getting the dole, you're not getting the draw, and you want to be drawing a fair amount to keep CP in your hand with this deck, I feel.
Yeah. Duff and Paul, Dynamite, yes, the Dynamite Arrow. I have now seen it all. We have got a Trias effect on the board.
And a Lightning, and a Porom. Hey, you know what, though? You take whatever you get, and that Sephiroth needed to go because you can't afford to keep discarding more.
Absolutely. Again, though, like, we're not getting the X's, and now Paul dumping out Azeramus, freezing the Leo and the water backup Hilda. And we've now see the EX Leviathan be drawn as
and
well.
And also pulling the Lightning, which you're going to have to now overpay to get out if you want to play it.
Yeah. I think
this one's over for Gareth, unfortunately, and I think Paul's going to see the win on
But then again, though, I mean, we thought that in the last one, and he made a miraculous comeback. So it's not over until it's over. Not over until the fat lady sings.
Exactly, but I think at this point you need to be able to deal with that Sid Randall, and you also need to deal with that Zeramus, but you're not going to be able to deal with both.
Yeah, the Garuda going could have been a real big hindrance for Gareth here. But we're going into 6. We are going to hard cast the Lev. We are going to target on the...
And grab the Lightning.
Sid Randall, and we're going after the Lightning. Okay, so... Can we follow it up, though?
And we're breaking the Zeramus. Okay, well, Gareth just proved me wrong.
I mean, again, no. We've still got an attack trigger from the Al Cid, and you can still play the Sid Randall to freeze it on board, so you can't play another one. So... I don't think it's as big of a comeback as he would have liked, but it's a good start.
Gareth's got no hand at the moment, but Paul is looking at one less backup, and his hand's not exactly too big either. So we're looking a bit like dry on both sides right now.
Yeah, I'd be still maybe inclined to like attack with the Al Cid, we dull the clouds, play the Sid Randall.
And freeze the cloud.
Yeah. I think that's just what you do here. And to be honest, you're not even too worried if you take a couple points of damage. You just need to get out ahead of this ace as quickly as you can and not let it get into the game. If we see the ace, again, the game could turn on its head. Oh, we're going into LB. We're probably going... Yep, Surges. I guess we're freezing the Leo as well as the Cloud here because we get a double trigger. Nicely played. Showing why...
Stopping Gareth entirely from being able to limit break another Leo is kind of exactly what you need right now.
And the Cloud as well. I mean, I know you don't necessarily want to break a Surges, but knowing that you're just stuck with it on board without being able to play another kind of sucks.
So we're paying 4?
Yeah.
We're getting the Hooded Man.
Is there Kane in there? Oh no, just another Hooded Man. Okay. So we're finally seeing the Hooded Man.
Drawing a card and reactivating, but I don't think there's anything we can play just yet.
No. He does have haste, but... I mean, do you really want to attack into this when you're on damage 5? Probably not. He's got 1 card left in hand. 3 active CP though. That could be a giveaway that he does have an answer for something.
You just need it. If Paul's got anything that can dull and freeze that Hooded Man, the game is over. Unless we hit an Odin EX burst.
Yeah,
there we go.
That'll do it. He's hoping for the X. He's hoping for the X. It is not. And there we go. Surge is going in. So, Paul equalising. We are 1 apiece. Comes down to this third.
And the next card was an Odin.
Of course it was. So we have seen the again, Paul dodging these EXs like no man's business.
The man knows how to do it.
He does. But again, it all comes down to this, the third and final game of this cup before the final. Who takes the semis here? Who's your money on right now?
I want to see a Paul and Mick final.
Yeah.
No offense to Reese, who's just over there. I hope he did not hear me say that. But I'd love to see them go at it. But I've seen Gareth multiple times now play this Water Lightning deck, and you can pull rainbows out of nothing with this deck.
Yeah, I think the biggest indicator here is that Paul won that handedly, but it did take a bad start and a bad hand from Gareth to do so.
That's the thing. If Gareth manages to get a good hand, I feel like Gareth is probably going to win. So as much as I want to see Paul in the final with Mick, I think this might be Gareth's game.
Yeah, I think it depends on how much pressure and sort of what hits we get. I think hitting that ace on first damage in game 2 there was probably the biggest equaliser for Paul to stay ahead in it.
I mean, you can't also have 3 games in a row where you don't hit an Odin EX burst. It's got to happen at some point, right?
I mean, I mean,
you're running 6 in this deck. That's good.
I'm not sure exactly on the number of EXs, but there's at least 9 in there.
Yeah.
So you'd like to
Let's
think
have a
you'd
look.
hit a couple.
Actually, we're running less than we think. So you got 1 of the Opus 1 Odin, and you got 2 of the Opus 13, and that's it. You got 3 of the Leviathans. Though.
Yeah, 3 6-drop Leviathans and 3 Kukulings as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
So there's a bit there.
now this looks like maybe we have a slightly better staff from Gareth going straight into a standard backup play, getting his Lena out. So we shall see.
It looks like already we've got a bit more of a better opening.
Yeah. So all I'm seeing from Paul here is apparently in order to beat Water Lightning, you've got to make him have a bad start. So
Either that or you top deck like a pro.
no, you just got to ton your hand in them before they get to the table. Club them in the knee with a pipe. It's fine. But
I found Zidane to be quite obviously Paul can't play it, but Zidane seems like quite a good counter just to be able to rip out the essential cards like Ace and Irvin, etc.
yeah, but again though, if you see those EXs and just happen to either get smashed by it or see that Ace, it never gets to attack again. So, but President Shinra now going after the Cisne. Great card this backup is. Are we going to play it or are we going to wait till next turn? That is the question. Nope, we're going in on it now. I hope you all don't get slight OCD from the backups facing 2 different directions, but... and again, I will mention it again, because I mentioned it on Thursday. If you do, look at the calculator of the Windows app.
The what?
The calculator for the Windows app, the 8 and 9, is 1 pixel off the rest of them. So good luck with all your OCDs, guys.
I'm going to have to check this when I get home. Oh, have you seen the promo Mist Dragons?
No?
So if you line up all of your promo Mist Dragons from recently, the 3 at the top and like the sort of border for the Earth sort of symbol, they don't all line up. They're all in like different places.
That's fantastic.
Not to mention the roads thing is wonky as well.
Good. Love it. Amazing. Right, so King of Amicia from Gareth here. His backup line is going much better. Lena into Lena as well, so we're on 3. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll see the Cadets again to be able to exile it, but yeah, I would absolutely take that out of there, personally, but... Now, the thing is, you've got to be a little bit careful now if you're Paul, because... Gareth is a little bit more set up, but we are going to freeze those backups. A lovely
Perfect
hit.
timing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Do we have a follow-up with anything else, though? That's the question. There goes an action. Just a Reeve. Reeve hitting the case Sith. We could strip something else out of the hand.
I mean, do you want to be playing the Kate Sith now and leaving yourself with no cards?
I mean...
I guess if you get 4 backups, so you can kind of play whatever you draw at that point anyway, so...
to be honest, though, even just the threat of Case Sith in the next turn is probably enough to make maybe Gareth, spam his hand out.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Not sure if Paul is going to play it. Oh, God, Jacob, what do you on?
Do you want to come join us?
Alright, so Jacob is tired. No, we are going into Case Sith.
Okay.
Show me what you've got.
You get rid of the Kane, right?
I think so. I mean, you're not going to play the Thancred, but
No, so it's Kane or Lightning, but yeah, I think Kane's the right decision.
I to be fair, I think the Lightning as a second choice would have been fine. Again, though, Paul just now punishing Gareth's hand and his backup line. Gareth needs to start finding some answers to this.
However, Gareth has 3 backups, even though at the moment they are dulled, you're not getting much out of them. But you've got quite a heavy hand, whereas you're looking at Paul, who's got 1 forward and no hand. So you're not. I don't think at this stage of the game you're entirely in a panic.
No, again, you're both not on any damage. You've got some time, but what we also got to remember if you're Gareth is that Cisne has a counter on it, and at any time we just go, yeah, let's doll freeze something, you know.
Imagine if he pulls another Vincent right now and just refreezes the entire backup line.
Yeah, well, Duff was calling for the hooded man. Did he just draw a pass from Paul there? Oof. It is not good.
I'm surprised that he's got nothing that he can play.
I'm wondering if he's just wanting, like, maybe he drew something like Sephiroth, or he's drawn. Yeah,
there we go.
To be honest, though, I would have been kind of inclined to sit on the Sephiroth and just dull freeze the using the Cisne trigger, leave the cloud on the field.
No, I think this is fine because unless there's an answer now, Sephiroth goes to next turn and starts making you discard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair point. I will concede that. So
Gareth either starts discarding now, or he's forced to find an answer for Sephiroth.
Yeah. Again, though, the fact that we've just had to go dull, draw pass, kind of telegraph that move a bit, but also an Echidna as well. Oh. So we do know at the very least we could trade with the Sephiroth, and I don't hate trading into it. You're gonna get a draw, and it means the discard doesn't hurt as much, And I think we saw not Kusith. I will get it right eventually. Kukulane on the top there.
Kuchaspel, Kukulane,
Yeah,
Kusith.
it's one of the Kus, okay? It's just one of them.
I feel like each artwork should have just been a type of bird. So we played the Irvin and we've stripped the Alpha Node and the Alba.
Yeah, and now we get rid of the Garuda again and another Lena.
You hate to see that Garuda go at this point.
Oh.
Kuchulain in the Sephiroth. And a hooded man in damage.
Duff called for a hooded man. I don't think he was calling it for damage though.
No, not
and
an ace.
Oh god. Oh. Those are some great points of damage for Paul here.
What was it you said on Thursday? Usually we say never punished, but in this case...
Sometimes you just are, Sometimes you just are. And, I mean, if you're Paul, you're never punished because you're dodging EXs again. He's straight up Keanu Reevesing his way through this.
Absolute pro.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention that. We've actually been watching The Matrix lately.
Not a fan.
What? They're great movies.
Nah, they're not, man. The first one was good for its time. The other two were awful.
The second one's the best one. What are you on about?
Some of the worst CGI ever.
The third one is awful. I'll admit that. You don't like the scene in the park with like thousands of Mr. Smiths?
Go back and watch it with the CGI. Is awful, man. It's
a product of its time.
It looks like claymation. Get out of here. If you want a product of its time, Starship Troopers was out first, and some of those bugs almost look real. Exactly. I rest my case, Your Honour. Anyway,
how do you rest your case for how old you actually are?
Yes, I'm old. Alright, get over it. Yeah, Paul, 40% too long on the park fight scene, and I agree. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Final Fantasy, not the crappy Matrix.
I remember you and Kiddy going off on one for the whole stream about James Bond.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, not much damage done. 2-1. We've got a full hand on Gareth's side of the board, though. We still know that I think he's got the Odin there. No, actually, it looks like he may have gone back in the bin, so maybe he might be baiting the Echidna here a little bit, trying to get it to block, but who knows. Paul sat on 4 in hand. We do have a Cisne still with its counter. I'd be slightly inclined to keep that lightning down with that Cisne, to be honest, but you never know.
To be honest, though, I'm kind of wondering whether you wait for Echidna to become a forward and then do it on the Echidna.
I mean, potentially.
Because then they're not actually going to be able to swing, they've discarded for nothing.
Yeah. I hope we're not seeing... okay, so potentially going to be moving to combat. Doesn't allow the Sephiroth to attack with a discard trigger. Or a break trigger, in fact, because I think... Oh, and we finally see an EX burst on the damage for Gareth. And it is a 6-drop Lev, but you don't really want to return the Sephiroth to hand, because you're fully untapped and your lightning is dulled.
You can grab back and forward, though. I'm not grabbing anything.
Well, has he got a water forward to grab back? I don't think we do.
To be fair, the Irvin earlier stripped out a lot of...
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's a water forward in there, and you sure as hell don't want to let the Sephiroth go back to hand.
You finally grab your bestie X-Burst, but it's a dud.
It's a dud, yeah. Oh, that's like salt in the wound if I've ever seen it. So we're tapping 3. Proper surges would be my guess here. Oh no, sorry. Well, missed something. Sorry. He's played a backup. He's played a sale. Of course he has. I don't know what I was looking at. We're finally going after the Sid Randall. Are we going to play it?
I almost feel like it's a bit too late at this point.
I don't know, man, because even like stopping Ace from drawing you a card could be a game changer.
Question is does he have Alcid in hand to Alcid into the Sid Randall?
That could be pretty funny. But it doesn't look like it, because I'm sure he would have gone straight off the bat with it. Yeah, oh, it was a Sephiroth. Yep, so there's
a Sid.
So, it's going to be a tricky one to deal with, but again, Gareth is running a lot of summons here, so I'm not sure he's too worried about seeing a Sid Randall in front. But we did see the Odin go back to the break zone, so I don't think he sat on one in hand. See the Thancred still in hand. He's got Porum as well. Porum could be an answer, because you could turn off the ability and then hit it with something else, right? So.
Yeah, that's true, but what does Gareth actually have that can hit it? Because you're not wanting to pay the crazy amount that Odin demands.
This seems almost criminal. Paul takes his second point of damage, and it's a Reeve. Good golly, never punished.
The man doesn't even have that high of an EX burst count.
Of course he doesn't. But there's the Vincent again. So if you tap those back up, sir, I'm keeping them frozen, is what Paul was saying. Almost seems criminal. But again, though, this is a closer game than we've had in maybe the first two.
It almost feels...
and he's done it again!
Oh, wow.
Oh, we were calling for Odin's on EX burst, but not on Paul's side of the field.
It almost feels like a slap in the face at this point to Gareth, even though it's not intentional by Paul.
Did we really break the cloud? I mean, I suppose it's not.
I think you're fine with that, though.
Yeah, because you got Sid Randall, right?
Yeah.
You don't worry about another cloud getting played now. You're kind of hoping your opponent forgets about it and goes, here's my cloud, and you go...
But I mean, I don't think these two players got to this point of the tournament by forgetting Sid Randall.
Honestly, you never know. You never know. I mean, on Thursday we saw Alex, who is a very capable player and very good, play a Ku Sith into a fiend. You know, sometimes things just get slipped by you. It doesn't matter how good you are at the game. Sometimes you just forget. But just remember, reading cards tell you what the cards do, guys. So it looks like we're mathing out a really big turn here. But the problem is, again, is what answers are you going to have for this Sid Randall? And again, we could also... oh, yep, there we go.
Showing down the Sid Randall.
That's the answer.
You've got a lot in hand to be playing with here as Gareth, which I think is kind of scary with this deck for Paul.
Yeah. So here we go. Thornton Search. Again, though, if you were just going to Thornton Search, why waste the turn-off ability? I suppose you turn it off just in case. But
so we're doing the tray.
I'm surprised we didn't search a summon to kill the Sid Randall, to be honest. Unless we've already got one in hand. But who knows? Do the streamer lean. Yeah, bin the ace.
It doesn't help at all,
No,
you just get glad.
So why would it help? You're looking at a screen. So yeah, we do get the draw off of the ace because the Sid Randall is turned off. But this, yes, Steve D is top 4. So you missed Kiddy on stream 1 dropping out. to Reese, who won 2-0.
Yeah.
We have got our other game is Mick Allen versus Reese right now. They were one.
Going on for a bit.
Yeah, Reese was 1-0 up. We don't know what the score is currently, and this is your other game. Currently 1-1, 3-3. Like, this is as close as it's been all day for these two.
To be fair, at the moment, it's still in that position if it's anyone's game.
Pretty much, yeah. And Paul now needs to try and find an answer to this poem. He got rid of his Ixion earlier, and he is running 2, but I don't think he's got a way to recurse it unless he plays the Lightning LB. So, Alcid, what are we playing from the Alcid? Unless we're thinking Aquatarasu here, perhaps? No, he's got 3 CP spare. He could. He is.
And there we go. That was a tough decision to make, I feel, because I feel like you almost want to keep that Irvin.
It's fine. You still get the dull trigger. Now the issue you got is you got no cards in hand for the ace effect. So you can dull on the attack with obviously the Alcid trigger to dull the ace. So unless we palm it to begin with, it could be a tricky one. To be honest, I would love Paul to just play Lightning from LB deck. Cisne to use the counter on the ace. Yeah, I would love him to play Lightning from LB deck, get back the Ixion, and then we Ixion the Porum. But okay, so we just turn off the abilities. Oh, and we've hit another ace.
This is deadly for Gareth now.
Gosh. We hit
got an EX
we
first.
Finally get an EX.
So you kill... What, is it 8,000 damage, is it?
Nope, not that one. Nope, it's a Palom, not a Palom. It is this one. So, choose one forward 3 or less. So nothing you can target. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we're going to freeze 3 of the forwards. We're choosing the water.
Makes sense, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
Paul's got this at this point.
I mean, the thing is...
You've frozen his entire colour fix and all of the forwards are dulled.
I think he's just drawn Hooded Man, though. He did, double Hooded Man. So we're going to get a reactivation. But again, though, you got no cards in hand.
Oh, you can't because I said that it wouldn't happen. It did.
What's that?
He can't do it because Sid Randell's on the field.
Oh, of course, yeah. He played it in the wrong order. Oh, wow.
So I think this has lost Gareth the game.
Yeah, he's just played it in the wrong order. He should have turned off the Sid first. Oh, no. And now, don't freeze that, please. Yeah, Gareth is just...
That mistake's lost Gareth the game. Oh,
no.
I can't... We joked that at this stage of the game, that's not going to happen, and it happens.
It's a Lev, and it doesn't.
It's too late.
What does it do? It's not enough. This is brutal. Oh, no. Again, you can be some of the best players in the world. Sometimes you just miss things,
he's literally just said, I should have used a Palo and ended Hooded Man.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that we talked that at this stage of the game nobody would do that, and it goes and happens.
It does.
The pressure gets to you.
It's just unfortunate. Like, we both players played an absolute corker, but
that
unfortunately,
was insane.
yeah. Oh my! And again, we were hitting the X versus towards the end, but again, hitting the 2-ace and the damage, and
that was crazy. But I will go get the winning man for an interview.
Yeah, guys, we will take a quick 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Oh, we are back with the winner of round 2 of Top Cut. Man is relieved.
Man.
So let's go straight into that third game. How big was that misplay for you? I mean, it looked like you were in control anyway, but
So it's unfortunate whenever a misplay comes into it. I honestly think I had enough going on board to sort of counter it anyway. I mean, I know I was keeping track of his limit breaks. I was really worried about Tidus. And then once he'd passed that threshold, I was like, right, no Tidus. I can rest easy. I can build a bit of a board. He hasn't got any wipes because Garuda's gone. So, it was just... it was just all blurred together. I mean, the only misplay I'm dwelling on is that I forgot Cadets.
Yeah.
And I also forgot Cadets in my top 8 game, but somehow still got to the top 4. So obviously you're not supposed to remember Cadets. It's supposed to be
Hey
misplayed.
guys, read your cards.
Yeah. Especially if you decide to put them in last minute, you should read them. What is going on with my sleeves?
So
Showing off the guns, like.
after
This one's up here. Sorry, carry on.
No, sorry. So after Swindon Newport, I hate to sort of bring it up. You've
No.
gotten. It wasn't sort of the best of matches. Have we seen any sort of deck changes, or have we just sort of kind of learned from our mistakes, or what's kind of gone on to get you to this point today where you've made the top 2?
So, I mean, so this is my 5th of 5 events on 5 Saturdays in a row. So we had Firestorm Newport, which I came 5th in. Duke's Pontypool, which I came 7th. Then Swindon came around and I was like 1 and 4. Manchester last week, that was 2 and 3. And so I'm using the same deck for most of this as well. And I think this week I should say, I decided Cadets is probably an interesting card.
Yep.
It deals with a few different things, and with the constant threat of the constant threat of an extra dull on top of surges, suddenly you need 3 blockers to block 1 attack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just that. In the Theodore I put back in as well, because I'm running 2 Azael anyway, and it's like a soft 2 copies extra of Theodore that I could see turn 1. I just like the pressure that it applies. Either the opponent will usually quite smartly empty their hand, but that's perfect. That's what my deck wants.
Yeah.
So Theodore, Kadaj, and then a mini lightning ice engine in the form of 1 Kalia Cheval, 1 Toho, and 1 Quan, just for some kind of thing. Because I just don't like Nero Weiss Restrictor. I think it's too much.
It's too slow, isn't
too
it?
costly.
Yeah. It's quite ironic because obviously you putting the Theodore back in, it was like it felt, especially in game 2, that you really wanted to see it then because Gareth was obviously very slow off the starting line for game 2.
Yeah, that worked out nicely for me. Having Theodore with the pressure on there. I think I got a discard off of him for my trouble, which is better than what I usually get.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously we're still waiting on the decision of whether you're going to be playing your best mate, Mick
Oh my
Allen.
God, this is going to be an awkward drive home either way, I think. But just saying, me and Mick play together quite regularly. I've probably played Mick twice as much as I've played every single other person in my FFTCG career, because we meet up 2 times a week. We play like 5 or 6 games at a time. That adds up over 8 years, you know what I mean?
So
Just to point out, by the way, Mr. Duff, admiring your T-shirt.
Well, thank you, Mr. Duff, a man of fashion himself, obviously.
It stares right into your soul on this camera.
Wish.com special, if anyone's interested.
So obviously what both opponents are playing in your other match. What one would you prefer to play? What is your
Reese.
best? Yeah, definitely.
Reese, all day long. Mick has trashed me time and time again, and I am not confident going into his deck, which is why I was quite surprised I won this one, because it's a very similar deck to Gareth's.
I'd love to say get good in that scenario, but you're going into top 2.
I'm going to have to get lucky, mate. That's my only chance, is getting lucky.
I mean, so let's go back to your games here.
Okay.
How big of an obstacle was Ace for you?
I like the fact that he discards for it. I mean, I was willing to go wide on the board so that maybe he would just start discarding a few extra cards, just to get it on extra stuff, just to get me extra advantage, basically, because if he's dulling my stuff, great, I can't attack for 1 turn, but I was ahead on damage, so that meant that I was slowly whittling that way, and Ace is really useful and really good, being able to discard, it can close out a game quite convincingly, but it's the... lost my train of thought here, but
It's the buff it gets, I suppose, is the one thing you've got to be worried of.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
So I got to ask, the first game seemed like it was going in your favour for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it turned around very quickly to
Yeah.
seem like Gareth's game. What happened there?
I don't really know. I mean, I'll have to watch the replay and criticise myself at home.
I reckon it was, to be honest, it was just Ace. I think that thing
Ace
put in a lot
put
of
the work in, but I mean, it was a few turns later I noticed I'd forgotten Kadaj, and I was like, oh, brilliant. That's one more dull that I could have had, and that, it's usually a dull. but also it's nice against Mick because he's running a Cat 8 package, and as long as there's not 10 cards in his break, that stuff will not be as good. So I'm hoping I just draw like a god, seek a dash, keep him in play. Mick has no answers, job done. Do that twice.
Fair enough to you.
So, one last question then.
Sure.
The last game you obviously were staring down upon, I know the misplay obviously really helped you, but up to that point, are you playing Lightning LB to get back the Ixion in your break zone? Because I was wondering if
hate to do it. I don't like, because it costs so much CP. It's like 4 CP to play Lightning, then you get Ixion back. I kind of wanted to... with Ixion, it makes the most sense to wait and pay the 5 to do the big wipe, basically. It does. I put one in there because I don't ever want to wish I had it. I mean, it's my most commonly flipped LB card, but I mean, I was thinking about it, but I just don't think I had enough CP to do it elegantly. Getting a 5k body on the field and then breaking Param for 8 CP just didn't quite feel like the way I wanted to go.
Well, either way though, played as well as you really could there with what you were given. So congratulations on your victory, mate.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we will see you back in the final if you're back.
I'd like to take part in the final at the very least. But
again, Tanya Harding's always been a thing. Just pipe to the knee. But guys, we will be back shortly with the results and telling you who's going to be Paul's opponent. So we'll take a short break. We'll be back soon.